Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about West Virginia. We try to find areas all across the country, so we're not always going back to the same state. And I think it's kind of interesting to do some videos and just look at some property at some of these upcoming auctions. So as far as West Virginia, they're classified as a tax lien state. Now, in some cases with over-the-counters that end up not getting purchased, they can be eventually forfeited over to the state, and then the state can sell them. But usually these are going to be annual auctions. It's going to be held by the sheriff, and it's going to be using the premium bid method, meaning you're actually bidding up the price of the tax lien. If it starts at $1,000 and let's say you buy it for $1,010, that's kind of that premium bid would be that $10 over the 1,000.
It's kind of interesting. They're kind of a simple lien. Only 18-month redemption period is kind of a short time period here for liens, at least comparatively. That's not that long compared to a lot of these, and the interest rate's not bad. That's kind of an interesting state. I'm looking forward to looking into it here a little bit.
Yeah, in fact, go back there real quick, because there's a few points that we need to talk about. As far as their interest rate, they're offering a 12% interest rate, but they also require that after purchasing the tax lien, you're going to need to submit letters to all of the owners. So with a regular tax lien, usually they're going to be sending out notices, but in this case, you're actually going to need to be sending out notices to the lien holders, essentially letting them know. So this isn't just your normal tax lien. You're going to have to do some things. Now, they'll pay, or you can charge up to $500 for services that you have to do. So if you have to get an attorney to be able to do that, and they handle that for you, but there's additional steps that you've got to take with West Virginia tax liens. But there is some really good opportunity because they have a low interest rate. I mean, they have a very low percentage of taxes. The taxes are like not even 0.5%. And then also you have a higher chance of actually ownership.
That's right. I do remember this now. I do remember this with West Virginia, and the fact that they kind of do they push on some of the responsibilities, the things that the county would normally handle in most other states. The county kind of pushes on the lien holder and says, all right, now what you need to send out these letters here. And yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing that happens here with these. Yeah, and I guess one thing that is nice with the low with properties that have low property taxes in general is just that even after years of the taxes accumulating, in some cases, the tax bills don't always quite get as big as they will in some of these really aggressive tax states, like, well, most other places we look at, like Florida, Texas, New York, almost anywhere else, that has a much higher property tax rate than 0.5%.
Yeah. So I mean, they have really low competition. They have pretty decent properties, but there is additional steps that you're going to need to go through. But one thing that's nice about it is that we can get some of that expense back through some of the adjustments. And so if you pay that, then they add that to the tax lien, and you'll be making 12% off that as well.
All right, let's do this.
I was telling Shade earlier, what was kind of interesting is I didn't notice that the ones that I was researching last night, the auction was today. I was thinking it was a couple of days away. And so I had all these ones that I researched that essentially ended up getting sold today. But if you scroll down further, we can get to where the auction lists are. So we're going to start with that Grant County there. I believe Mineral County happened today, and the list isn't there as well.
Okay.
So we're going to be kind of shooting from the hip here because the ones that I'd already researched, but we can kind of scroll down and look at ones that maybe $1,200 or.
Yeah, well, what's nice is we can see from the legal description about what each one of the properties are. When they're just vacant lots, we can tell, or if it's several acres here. Here we can see this one. Here's 54 acres and something with coal rights. But a lot of these though are just regular land. If we want, now let's see, can we click on something here?
Yeah, click right there. And then you go over and click on the map to the left, or the satellite, to see where this is.
Interesting.
And then we've got the address underneath the 911 address, or it's got the address there. Sometimes it won't have the address there, but it'll have the 911 address.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, there we go. And also, I might just copy that here while I'm looking there at it. Oh, look, we can click right there for the Google Maps link
Yeah,
right there as well on it. So that's pretty handy.
yeah,
And
it's
so
pretty
the
nice.
lien we're looking at is, this was a lien for $1,300 is the lien amount. So not that much. We can see the area is taken up, and it does include, a house there.
Yeah, you can click over, see where it says on the far bottom left, click here for the partial report.
There we go.
There we can get kind of idea of what the assessed value is. That's always not going to be a reflection of the market. We're always going to check that when it was built in 2000. So it's fairly new.
And we'll just pull the value real quick and see how the value compares to what the county's estimate is. And about 179. So that makes sense. And in terms of an investment, the starting bid amount is very low compared to, I mean, $1,300 is a pretty low opening bid for a property that's, even for a lien, it's a fairly low lien amount for a property that's valued at 180,000.
Yeah, well, and one thing to mention as well as we're looking at these, as far as the deed process, you're going to be doing that through the auditor as well. So you're really working with the state auditor on these. You're going to be giving them the names, then they're going to be sending out the certified letters, but you don't need to go through a traditional foreclosure. So you're not going to need to get an attorney to do the actual foreclosure. You're just going to do the paperwork, kind of like a deed application to a degree, and then the auditor will actually do the foreclosure and issue you a deed.
Yeah. Yeah, that does not sound too bad at all. It's also not that long of a time period. I mean, in a lot of lien states, you're dealing with multiple years of liens to deal with. This is kind of a hybrid almost at 18 months. It's pretty short. I'm not sure if there's any other. I guess you've got a couple others. I mean, South Carolina has, I guess, a 1 year for liens, but an 18-month is just not a very long time period here to deal with for liens. I mean, we've seen redemption period, redemption deeds that have a 1 year period here on them. So it's not that much different.
Yeah, well, we can see even there back in 2023, this sold for 140 grand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting here. And some of these are for very small amounts too. I mean, we've looked at a couple that are larger, like the $1,000 ones, but a lot of these properties are $400, $500. Let's see, $484. Let's see what this one is.
Well, in this county, these type of liens, you might be able to pick them up, for pretty close to the opening bid, meaning you're not going to have a whole lot of competition in bidding up the premium, because there's probably going to be limited people there at this auction, where at least you're able to pick them up where your premium bid's not going to be that high.
Like a 2016 mobile home on it, with this property is $500, is the amount. It's sitting on 2 acres.
Yeah, grab the address. Let's see what it values it at.
244, and you have interior images. 71 photos. Holy cow.
It's outdated, but for that, I mean, still your investment's pretty protected.
Yeah, that's a cool old safe. I think it's a safe. Yeah, it's an old house. It's original there. It's kind of weird with the ceilings. Let's see, but manufactured housing, I think, or prefab parts of. Maybe it was custom built.
I think it's probably prefab. Looks like there could be 2 properties on it. Oh, maybe it's that shed or whatever. But it's a small tax lien.
Yeah, tiny tax lien, really.
Even though
Yeah,
it's an older building and needs a lot of work,
it's
what's
pretty big.
$500 tax lien on it? It's valued
Yeah,
at 244,000. Even if we say it's valued only at 150,000, we know that somebody bought it a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and that's probably when these photos were taken for
yeah,
140 grand.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, very secure lien here. And all of these, I think, would be pretty secure. Oh, look, so some of these are mineral rights. You know, you see mineral rights there and see mineral rights there. That's kind of interesting here. Most of these, though, are land.
Let's go look at a different county. Click on the next one down.
Let's look at Hardy County here. And yeah, they've got a big list. They have some larger amounts here. But again, you know, look, I mean, there's 238 acres. That's something weird. That's mineral rights. That's what it is. It's 200. It's mineral rights for that fifth interest. Let's see. Let's look at one of these here. So this 5 acres here at this place. Let's see what that is. 2,500.
That's kind of a weird commercial property.
It's a
You know, like a big
humongous.
chicken
Yeah,
coop or something like that. Pig farm.
yeah. It's got to be. Yeah, it's on a farm. That's got to be like a humongous chicken coop or something like that, because that's. I mean, that's like a. It's like a 1,000 feet long. Yeah, or 500
Yeah,
feet at least. I mean, it is
yeah,
really
it's
long.
big.
Yeah, yeah. It's huge. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, they value it there at 270,000 is their appraisal.
Active farm.
And it was built in 2022, so it's a pretty new one. Yeah, so yeah, that's a $2,500 one. You know, it's less than 1% of assessed value or appraised value.
Looks like there's a house on it too. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Over to the left,
Oh yeah, there is right there.
the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Yeah, so it's a house. So it's a house and this giant barn thing that's included there with it. The value on it could be quite a bit higher than what we're even looking at.
Yeah, it could be a $500,000 property at least with that. Oh, look at that. It's 42 by 624 feet.
Yeah, that's huge.
That thing is 624 feet long.
Yeah, that's some insanity there. That, you know, it's a huge thing for a $2,500 lien. That's just a ton of security for your money. Clearly, they're not going to let the property go for $2,500. You know, they're going to end up paying it off, and you're going to end up making your money back on it. You know, it'll redeem, and you'll earn a good safe rate of return.
Yeah, one thing that was kind of interesting is I was reading some stuff from an attorney that, you know, works within this area, has clients that buy tax liens here. And he said that you have a higher percentage in this area of acquiring property than in other states. And probably the 18-month redemption period, you know, implies, you know, but there is, even though there's going to be extra steps, and you also need to be in the area. So if you're close to West Virginia, then this auction, these sales could definitely be worth looking into. Even though it's going to take a little bit more work, you still have a good chance of picking up property, and the liens like we're looking at are pretty small.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these are all very reasonable, and a lot of them are very small liens. You know, they'll be worth picking up. I'm kind of impressed with the numbers. I mean, for the lien amount, for the bid amount, you're getting a ton of value in real estate compared to even a lot of other lien states that we've seen. You know, the value is excellent here.
Yeah, well, a $1,300 lien may get you an $80,000 or $60,000 house in a lot of areas. So, you know, the property taxes are pretty low here. It's the reason why we also see some smaller list. You know, you're not looking at thousands of tax liens, but these are also, you know, probably in some more rural areas as well. We're not
Yeah.
looking in the biggest cities right here.
No, really. And you look at all the counties here that we could go through. I mean, you know, we're only at Fayette County there that we're looking at, and there's quite a few more, you know, that we could go into. All of these counties have listings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about just how many listings there are here. All these counties have listings, and some of them have much bigger lists. I mean, this county has a little bit bigger list, but the numbers are roughly the same. We see, you know, we see liens in the hundreds of dollars. We see a few that are
Look at
they're
that one
larger.
that's 18,000. I want to see what that can get you.
Let's see. Oh, it looks. Oh, that's a.
That's a
If
new
that's a
house.
house, is that what it is? Is it a big old house?
I think so.
It's $1 million house. If it's just a regular house, yeah, residential, 4,332 square feet.
Yeah, big home. Newer too. See what the see what the market value is real quick before we're starting to kind of run out of time here. But
All right. We'll look this up and then we'll move on here. All right. Let's see what it is real quick here first. Oh, it's no. Look what it is.
is
It's a whole
that it? Or
building.
I think it took us down on a different property. I think it took us over to the right of that when you looked at. See, go back, do the satellite. See, so the house it's that house right there.
Oh, it's the one right behind it. I see what you're saying. It's this one.
I don't know why the address took us there. It may be so new they don't even have addresses posted
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. They don't show any numbers on it yet. It's almost like that's.
Yeah, it's so new that Google hasn't registered it yet.
Let's see. Let's see if anything shows up here. Like I type in the address. No, not yet.
No, it shows some ski resort.
Yeah, that's not. It's not even close here.
Well, if the county's assessed it at $1 million, I wouldn't be surprised from what we've been looking at what the county's assessed it at versus what the actual market value is. You know,
Yeah.
this could be in a ski resort area.